Oh. Didn't think anyone else knew about this door. Usually it's just me out here after a show. Me and the wall and about 15 minutes of not being looked at by anyone. It's nothing personal. I just need to decompress. Stage to street is a lot faster than people think it is, and your brain doesn't always catch up. Do you mind if I... Thanks. So, you were at the show. I know because I saw you. Not in a weird way. I just noticed things from up there. The lights are in your face most of the time, but there's this one spot, right side of the floor, where the angle is different. And you can actually see people. You were there. You were watching the set, not your phone. I noticed that. Most people have their phones up the whole time, recording something they're never going to watch again. You were just there, present. That's rarer than it sounds. Don't get too flattered. I'm just observant. What did you think? Yeah? Which part? No, I'm asking seriously, which part? Because people say they liked it, and they mean the chorus of the one song they already knew before they walked in. That's fine. That's how it works. I'm not precious about it. But you said it like you actually meant something specific, so I want to know what. The bridge on the third song. You know, most people don't even register that part. It's not the loud part. It's not the hook. It's just this moment where everything drops and it's basically just guitar. I wrote that at like 2 a.m. in a parking lot outside a gas station in New Mexico, and I didn't think anyone would care about it. I put it in anyway because I cared about it. And you picked that one. Okay? You've got good ears. How many times have you seen us play? Because you knew that song, I could tell. You knew where it was going before it got there. That's not a first-timer thing. Twice. Yeah, that tracks. The second time is always when it clicks. The first time you're just taking it all in. The second time you actually hear it. I'm glad you came back. You want one? Smart. These things are terrible. I keep telling myself I'll stop after the tour, and then the tour ends and I don't stop. It's a whole cycle. Very glamorous rock and roll lifestyle stuff. It's cold out here. You've got here. Stand closer to the wall. It blocks the wind better. Yeah, there. Better. You know what's funny? I've done this. How many shows? I don't even know anymore. A lot. And I always end up out here after. Same thing every time. Door, wall, cigarette. 15 minutes. And it's always just me. Tonight's different. I'm not complaining. I'm noting it. There's a difference. You live here or you came in for the show. Yeah, this city's good for shows. Small venues especially. There's something about a room that size. When it's packed and it's loud and everybody's actually into it. It's different from a big room. More honest somehow. You can feel it back. When a crowd that size is with you, you feel every single person. Tonight was a good one. You were a good part of it. Being seen actually playing instead of being filmed. It matters more than you'd think. Can I ask you something? Why'd you come out here? This isn't the main exit. The bar's inside. The merch is inside. The rest of the crowd is inside. You went looking for a specific door. Yeah. That's what I thought. You needed air too. I get that. Shows do something to you, even when you're just watching. There's all that energy in the room, and then the lights come up and suddenly you're supposed to just go back to normal, and it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you need a minute outside first. How are you doing? Not like small talk. How are you? Actually, how are you doing? You don't have to answer that. I know we just met in an alley, and that's a weird question from a stranger. I ask it anyway because I've found that people either deflect completely or they tell you something real, and I'm always more interested in the people who tell you something real. Which one are you? Yeah? I figured you were that one. I'm listening. I've got nowhere to be. The rest of the band is inside doing the thing where they talk loudly about the show for an hour, and I've heard that conversation enough times that I can skip it without missing anything. So, tell me something real. See? That's the thing nobody ever says out loud. Everyone feels that. That specific kind of tired that isn't about sleep, where you're moving through your days and doing everything right, and it all looks fine from the outside, but somewhere underneath, something isn't quite where it's supposed to be. Like you're a little out of sync with your own life. Music does something for that. Not fix it. Nothing fixes it. I don't believe in fixes. But it gives it somewhere to go for a while. You put it in the room, and the room holds it for you. That's why you came back the second time, I think. Not just because you liked the songs, because you needed somewhere to put something for a couple hours. I write for the same reason. That parking lot in New Mexico I mentioned, I wasn't there because the tour schedule put me there. I was there because I'd been carrying something for about 6 months, and I didn't know what to do with it. And I sat in that parking lot at 2 a.m. and wrote the bridge you like so much, put it in the song, let other people hold it. You held it tonight. That means something to me. I just want you to know that. I don't say that to every person who comes to a show. I don't say it to almost anyone, actually. You're making it easy to say things. I don't know how you're doing that, but I noticed. It's getting cold. I should probably go back in. My band gets anxious when I disappear too long after a show. They think I've either gotten into trouble or had some kind of existential crisis. Usually they're half right. Tonight, neither. Tonight I came outside and found someone interesting in an alley and had the best 15 minutes I've had in a while, which is saying something because I just came off a stage, and stages are generally pretty good. You're better. Don't give me that look. I'm not doing a bit. I mean it. This was better than the show, and the show was genuinely good. You're interesting to talk to, and you have good taste. And you looked me in the eye when I said something real instead of looking away like most people do. And that's a lot for an alley behind a venue on a Tuesday night. I want your number. I'm not going to do anything weird with it. I just want to be able to say something to you when I think of something worth saying. And I already have 2 or 3 things, and I'm still standing here. You can say no. I'll go back inside and think about this conversation for longer than I'd like to admit, and that'll be that. Or you can put it in, and I'll text you something tomorrow that makes you think. I'm good at that. Your call, yeah? Good. Go back inside before you freeze. Get a drink. find your people. And if you're in the front on the right side, next time we play this city, I'll look for you. I'll see you.